Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I walked through the front door after one of those days that barely leaves a mark. Nothing dramatic. Just work, traffic, and the usual debate about what to eat for dinner. My keys felt familiar in my hand. The door shut behind me, sealing off the noise of the street. I dropped my bag, already expecting the sound of her voice, the casual smile that used to greet me every evening. Instead, there was silence. Not the peaceful kind. The heavy kind. The kind that presses against your ears. She was standing in the living room. Not moving toward me. Not smiling. Her body was stiff, arms folded so tightly her hands looked strained. Her face didn't belong to the woman I had shared a bed with for 12 years. Her eyes were distant, drained of warmth, as if I were looking at someone I barely knew. She didn't ease into it. No questions. No small talk. She inhaled sharply like someone bracing for impact and said it plainly. I'm moving out. I've already rented a place. This is over. Everything inside me collapsed at once. The words landed like a blow to the chest, knocking the air from my lungs. My thoughts exploded into chaos. What? When did this happen? Is there someone else? We can fix this. Panic surged through me. Every instinct screamed at me to argue, to beg, to fight for what we had built. I could already see the role I was expected to play, the angry husband, the broken one, the desperate one clinging to a marriage that was slipping away. But as I looked at her more closely, I noticed something beneath her determination. She was ready. Ready for tears. Ready for shouting. Ready for guilt and accusations. She stood there armored, prepared for a battle she had already rehearsed in her mind. And in that suspended moment, a strange thought cut through the noise, calm, cold, and terrifyingly clear. What if I didn't do any of that? What if I didn't react the way she expected? What if I didn't fight? What if I let her go? The silence stretched. Her eyes flickered, confusion replacing certainty. She was waiting for the explosion, and my stillness unsettled her more than anger ever could. I took a slow breath, forcing my racing heart to quiet. I looked at the woman I loved, the woman who had already left me long before this moment, and made a choice. I nodded once. Okay. The word hung between us. Her eyes widened slightly, disbelief cracking through her composure. Okay, she repeated. That's all? I glanced around the room, the photos, the furniture, the life we had carefully assembled together. It all felt like a display now, something frozen in time. I'm not going to fight you, Sarah, I said softly. If you've thought this through and this is what you want, I respect you enough to listen. I love you. And if you believe your happiness is somewhere else, I won't stand in your way. Her arms dropped to her sides. She swallowed hard. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. I have movers coming tomorrow, she said, stumbling over the words. For my things. All right, I replied. Do you need help packing? That question shattered what was left of her composure. Her chin trembled. She turned her face away, blinking fast. No, she whispered. I've got it. I nodded again. I'm going to order some food. Let me know if you want anything. She shook her head, unable to speak. I walked into the kitchen, my heart pounding violently while my hands remained steady. I ordered a pizza, debating toppings as if the ground beneath my life hadn't just disappeared. It felt absurd. The world was ending and I was choosing extra cheese. I heard her footsteps on the stairs, retreating to what was now the spare bedroom. The night passed in a strange ceasefire. The next day the movers arrived. I made them coffee. I helped guide furniture through narrow hallways. I stood politely to the side, watching my life be packed into boxes. It felt like observing a play I once starred in, now reduced to a silent background role. I watched Sarah the entire time. Her confusion deepened. She kept looking at me, searching for anger, for pain, for proof that this mattered. But I gave her nothing except calm acceptance. When the last box was loaded, she stood by the door holding her keys. This was the final moment, the ending she had imagined. I guess this is goodbye, she said quietly. I took the keys from her. Our hands didn't touch. Take care of yourself, Sarah. She opened her mouth, then closed it, nodded once, and walked out. The door clicked shut. I stood alone in the hallway, the silence crashing over me like a wave. After a long while, I sank onto the bottom step of the staircase. The wood was cold through my clothes. Only then did I allow myself to feel it. The grief, the loss, the fear of what came next. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just sat there and let it exist. And beneath all that pain, something unexpected glowed quietly inside me. Control. In the moment where I had none, I had claimed the only power available to me, the power to choose my response. I hadn't given her my collapse. I hadn't become the villain she could blame. I gave her grace. And in doing that, I reclaimed myself. There was no dramatic reunion. No realization on her part. The divorce papers came and I signed them without resistance. But the ember grew. By not fighting her, I had fought for me. I rebuilt my life slowly. Not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. I reconnected with old friends. Found new interests. Remembered who I was before I became half of a we. Months later, I heard through mutual friends that Sarah was struggling. She had expected closure, conflict, something dramatic to justify her decision. Instead, my calm had left her alone with it. No anger to push against. No chaos to distract her. Just the weight of her own choice. The real surprise wasn't hers. Was mine. I learned that the strongest response to heartbreak isn't rage or desperation. It's quiet dignity. It's acceptance. It's looking at the end of something you loved, nodding once and saying, okay. Because that's when you realize your life isn't ending. It's simply changing, and you are still strong enough to build what comes next.